The time is just gone 10 minutes past 8 a.m., and we kick off this morning with the focus on the president of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, for a number of reasons. We know the whole question surrounding the $4 million that went missing from his farm. Are calling it now Couch Gate. Now, that is just one issue. Yesterday, we seen what had transpired during his budget. Speech where he spoke in Parliament and the EFF, obviously saying that they are not prepared to listen to the criminal. And then we heard the announcement of the suspension of the public protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Now, putting all of this into perspective, it does appear as if the man of the moment at this point in time is the President Cyril Ramaphosa himself. And to unpack some of these developments, we join on the line this morning by political analyst Dr. Unathi Sonwabile Henama. Dr. Unathi, good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all of the listeners.
Yes, looking at the president of the country at this point in time for a number of reasons, and for some of the reasons that I alluded to in my introduction, clearly he is in the spotlight, Dr. Unathi.
He's in the spotlight and he's close to the sun. There's a lot of things happening around the president, and as the first citizen of the country, he has a responsibility, obviously, to obviously lead the country and also address all of the allegations that have been made against him. But I believe right now we are experiencing the real politics for the foreseeable future.
Yes. Now, let's talk about this real politics because, for a long time, the president was under the radar. And in fact, there were many that said that, he was not decisive enough when it came to a number of issues, whether it was the factions between the ANC, the issues surrounding corruption, and many other issues that he had to deal with. But now that the spotlight is on him, and he needs to look inwardly, and more importantly, he needs to be decisive. And this is going to be quite an interesting development where, with the spotlight on him, how is he going to respond? How is he going to react to some of the issues that are playing out around him?
Well, I think one of the greatest things that has happened is that people have realized that no politician is afraid, especially a South African politician. So the issue that happened at Palapala and the revelations of the $4 million is an issue that, wow, he's just like all of them. So that is very, very important for the South African public, especially if we're going for the national elections in the year 2024. Secondly, the president has always looked timid, taking time to take a decision, taking time like an elephant, taking time to turn. But right now he's showing the real politics. And there is obviously reasons to suspend the public protector, but the question is why now? Why after a day after ATM indicated that they want to take the president on review for what has happened at Palapala, then the public protector is suspended. Anyway, the work of the public protector will continue because there is staff and also the public protector that will undertake that complaint.
Yes, I think this is a very, very interesting development with the suspension of the public protector. And the key issue here is we know that there has been history between the president and the public protector. So it's not something that has occurred now, particularly with regard to the investigation into the $4 million US. But we know there is history. But again, the timing of this thing, Dr. Unathi, it has happened at a time when the president is under severe pressure.
Timing is timing, so timing is no coincidence. But I'm just saying it's just interesting. But remember, there is already a parliamentary process to check the fitness of holding office of the public protector. So, and also this complaint, and also the CR17 sealing of the bank records. So I'm just saying it is good for South Africa that revelations of wrong things do come out to the fore. Revelations of things that are wrong are coming to the fore. And that is what we must appreciate as a nation. Those are the things that we must appreciate, we must be proud of that in our country. In as much as many things which are wrong, we don't surface, but important things do surface. And that is good for our democracy.
Well, it's good for us as a democracy and for our democracy, as you mentioned, but within the ruling party, within the ANC, because we've known in the past where the party has taken, preference over what is actually taking place in the country and what is in the interest of the country, in the national interest of the country's people. And I think this is where one needs to look at some of these developments a lot more closely as to the ANC and how they have been reacting. And we've seen some of the reaction. We've seen from within the ANC statements that are made that, as far as the public protector is concerned, sufficient time and opportunity was given to her, with regard to her submissions as to why she shouldn't be suspended and the like. So it does appear as if they are, or outwardly, it appears as if the ANC is rallying behind Cyril Ramaphosa.
Well, the issue of Palaf will remind you of the fire pool, will remind you of Nganga. So that is expected, you know. But most importantly, this reminds us of the comments made by former Minister Bathabile Dlamini saying, all of us, all of us have got small skeletons. We cannot speak about each other's skeleton because all things will break loose. So the comments made by a former Minister of Social Development, Bathabile Dlamini, is ringing true. That this is a scandalous riddle political system in South Africa, especially within the ruling party. But we should appreciate as citizens that we get to see the truth.
Well, some of us have skeletons, others have dollars in the cupboard, Dr. Unathi.
Some in the in some of them they put it in the upholstery.
Well, that is the reason why it is called Couchgate. But now, when one looks at it, it's quite interesting as to how people respond to this. Because, firstly, we know that Arthur Fraser, obviously, it was a revelation as far as the dollars and Couchgate is concerned. But also, as we look at Advocate Busi Siwe Mkubane at this point in time, and whenever these revelations come out, it's so easy to again, I would call it reverse psychology, to turn the spotlight back on them because now suddenly Arthur Fraser and during his time as the former state security boss and also later on the National Commissioner of Correctional Services, now he's come under the spotlight, so they are digging for skeletons there, and I'm sure very same thing will be done to Busi Siwe.
Yes, the issue of state intelligence, the issue of state intelligence is very, very important. And Arthur Fraser, as to how he got the information, that is should be the worry of the presidency and state intelligence. But for we as the public, we are happy that these revelations has come through. We are happy that these revelations of wrongdoing by the president have come through because it is in the public interest. But remember, there have been several reports been made about the poor state of state security in South Africa. There's been even a report by former Minister Mafuma Hari. So we have to address those issues. That's why these revelations come through. And our international partners and embassies and partners all over the world, they are worried about the poor state of state security in South Africa because they say a government cannot be always having its secrets in the having its dirty laundry out there in the sky. Because look at what happened to Assange in the UK. They're still looking for him in the USA because of him having a platform to take out state secrets on his website. So I'm just indicating that this is a big mirror moment for South Africa to reflect and say, we need to fix our country. We need to fix how the state is being managed. But unfortunately, we are leading up to the National Congress of the ANC, and everybody's going to be using state security to fight another opponent. So this is just the beginning of the unleashing of state security information against opponents.
Yes, and also, Dr. Unathi, it is now a case of survival as far as the president is concerned. Now that some of these revelations have come and he's made certain decisions, for instance, like the suspensions, and if he hopes to survive, it's going to be interesting to see what trump card he has and what he has up his sleeve to once again regain. his honor, his dignity, but also at the same time survival, which is going to be absolutely critical.
No, I think he's going to win the election of the ANC. I think there's a foregone conclusion. I think the biggest fight is going to be who's going to become deputy president. I think the only thing is that those who are in the know-how who are against him will just hope that the public protector and investigations around Palapala will find him guilty, so that not find him guilty, but a court case should be opened, and then they say we are taking the court, we're taking this investigation to trial, and then they'll be able to say, president, step aside now. So I think that's their only hope. But I can certainly tell you, to be a leader of the ANC and to become president of the ANC, you don't need any honor. I mean, you don't need any honor. I mean, you look at the re-election of former president Jacob Zuma twice as a president of the ANC without any honor. So it's not a requirement in order to be elected within the ANC.
Yes, I know. Look, and we've seen it in the past, and we've seen it even with the former president Jacob Zuma. Once he came under the radar, once he came under the spotlight, and particularly with regard to Nkandla, and also when the whole question surrounding state capture. But I am certain that there are those, and we know what action the president had taken against the Free State Premier as well. And these are people that are going to take mileage out of this. They are going to make political capital as well, Dr. Unathi.
Yes, yes, yes. And I remember the allegations that how the step aside rule has been used has been factional. If you are regarded to be close to the RT forces, they are very hard on you. If you are not close to the RT forces, you are protected. But this will be a very important test case of the step aside rule. If you look at Limpopo, Florence Ratilani was implicated in the VBS issue, is re-elected as a deputy chairperson in the province. You see what I'm saying? So it's a very important test case for the ANC. And it's going to lead to, obviously, a despondency when we get to the national conference, as people will be complaining that the step aside rule is applied, not consistent.
Yes. Just in your analysis, where do you think Cyril Ramaphosa had gone wrong?
Sir Ramaphosa has not gone wrong in anything. Sir Ramaphosa is just a member of the ANC. And the ANC is unable to do right things. It's unable to change the trajectory of poverty. It's unable to create economic growth. So it's not, we must never take our Sir Ramaphosa out of the party. He's been a loyal member of the ANC, and he is doing exactly what is expected of the member of the ANC, especially its leader, to continually take money from the state and ensure that it funds the ANC. So we cannot take Sir Ramaphosa out of the party. He's just a typical ANC leader.
Dr. Nati, we're going to put you on hold. We're going to go for a quick ad break, and we'll be back with you.
There's no smell that takes me back to the comfort of my childhood than the smell of black seed oil being applied by my nanny. Now I'm using Tib black seed in my own home to soothe sniffles and coughs, to help with digestion and immunity, and of course, as part of my beauty routine. After all these years, I've come to appreciate the wisdom in finding comfort and shifa in trusted treatments like Tib Black Seed. You can find Tib Black Seed at all leading pharmacies or find out more at blackseed.co.za.
One of the most important things you can do on this earth is to let people know they are not alone. That the frustration of communities who struggle to earn the very basic is not their cry alone. Discharging your zakah is the starting point for creating a sustainable community and taking action. It's the impetus for creating lasting change and hope. Donate your zakah to the Al Fida Foundation, supporting over 10,000 Muslim families in the Eastern and Western Cape of South Africa. We need your help to assist our neighbors of need. Contact the Al Fida Foundation at 041 484 1288 or view or visit our website at www.alfida.co.za. The Al Fida Foundation, your partner in social investment.
Did you know that through Sanzaf, you can provide a meal to an individual for only 12 Rand? By committing to a monthly contribution, you can assist us in reaching out to more communities and deserving individuals. A once-off donation will also be highly appreciated in helping us achieve our monthly target. For more information, call us on 011 834 6046. SANZAF, changing lives through development and relief.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
The time is just gone 8:25 a.m. We continue with the big picture interview this morning, and my guest is Dr. Unathi Sonwabile Henama. He is a political analyst, and the spotlight is on the president of the country, considering some of the developments in the last few weeks. Couchgate, as we have come to know it, the $4 million missing dollars, and also at the same time looking at yesterday the suspension of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, and also what had happened in Parliament yesterday, where one of the Parliament, the EFF members, was thrown out because of certain remarks that were made and aimed at the president of the country. Now, Dr. Unathi, just to continue, and what I find also very, very interesting is the response of people like Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. And yesterday, she actually tweeted, and now this has gone all biblical, it is gone all religious, and her tweet came out of Exodus 14:14, where she speaks about the Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace and remain at rest. But the key issue here is, it's fine going all religious and making these comments, but at the end of the day, the situation on the ground is real. The problems in the country are real. People are without jobs. People are starving. Just this morning, we heard even the Minister Lindiwe Zulu talking about the basics 350 rand grant that has still not been paid for a few months. Now, this is a matter of life and death for people because they depend on the 350 rand, but there are administrative issues, there are negotiations taking place with the bank. Now, putting all of that into perspective, we have got serious problems, and these are the issues that President Cyril Ramaphosa need to be focusing on. Dr. Unathi, are you with us? Yes, Dr. Unathi. Well, we are. I personally am having a problem listening to Dr. Unathi, but yes, my engineer is working on it. Hello, Dr. Unathi, are you with us? Yes, it does appear as if we are having a bit of a problem with Dr. Unathi. But just coming to some of the other issues that President Cyril Ramaphosa is faced with, and yesterday we found that with regard to the EFF, and the EFF came out very, very strongly, and also at the same time, when we're looking at the fight against corruption, and how much longer can this country actually sustain the corruption that is taking place? And also, when we see fingers were pointed at Arthur Fraser as well, and this was a time when Justice Raymond Zondo had made certain statements, and we are talking about millions upon millions of rands, and this is a time during the time when Arthur Fraser was the head of state security as well. So there are just so many skeletons that are coming out of the cupboard at this point in time. And the question of the public protector, we know in the past, Tuli Madonsela, and the whole issue surrounding Jacob Zuma. And the question that we are asking is, are we looking at a similar scenario? Are we looking at the same situation that is likely to unfold with Busisiwe Mkhwebane as well? So, with all of this put together, the country is in a royal mess. And at the end of the day, people, ordinary people, people on the ground are battling. People on the ground are suffering. We see what has happened as a result of the economic downturn. We've even seen what has happened with Comair, and they obviously were under business rescue, and business rescue practitioners are saying that it is not possible for this country to get a company to get back onto its feet. So much is playing out in the background, and it's about time. It's about time that the powers that be, the politicians, get their act together. We know the opposition benches are going to make political capital out of it. They're going to be take the opportunity to do what they need to, and to the extent that the big showdown that had taken place yesterday in a parliament tells you a lot. And we thought that these were developments, or these were scenes that we were going to see only during the Zuma era, but it is now happening during the Ramaphosa era, and it is clear the ANC needs to get its act together if it wants to continue being the dominant player. And in the past elections, we've seen what has happened. We've seen support for the ANC starting to dwindle, and people are tired. People are sick and tired of what they see happening around them. And to the extent that they can't take any more, and also losing hope. And we see this with a number of high wealth individuals who are now starting to leave the country. And if we ever get to that stage where we're going to see people again, once this whole pandemic, once we get out of this pandemic, we may just see a lot more of that starting to happen. We will see brain drains, we will see people leaving en masse, and many other issues are the driving forces. And when one looks at the NHI, the National Health Insurance that is being proposed by the government, there again, the medical fraternity highly concerned. Could be a case of South Africa losing many highly qualified and experienced medical people in this country when your very own health services are under severe pressure. The same would go for education. The same would go for many other areas where where the country is experiencing these problems. But unfortunately, we can't get in touch with Dr. Unathi for some reason or the other, possibly signal issues. But hopefully, we will try and get hold of another political analyst. And at some point in time, we need to unpack, we need to have a detailed discussion on this country and where this country is headed for. The time is headed for 8:34. And when we come back, we want to talk about the 13th National Quran Memorization Competition. We will be chatting with Sheikh Muhammad Wadi, who is the national coordinator of the South African National Quran Council, immediately after this.